G'day, I'm Kate Grauruck, how you going? Today I'm so excited to take you through Bungonia Gorge and the Slot Canyon. It's such a cracker of a hike. It's only about 4Ks long, but it's going to take me about 5 hours to get through, and that's because of that elevation change. So we're basically going to hike over that way, drop down through the gorge, the Slot Canyon, pop out there, then we sort of boulder hop those boulders down there, then we hit this spur and up, 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 up. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I'm not exactly hiking fit with you know, the Australian bushfires that we've had and the corona balls. I just haven't had a chance to get out, so we're in this together. Let's hope we can get back up there. This is such a cool area. There's you know, nice wheelchair accessible lookouts through to canyoning, overnight hikes, and you know, epic Slot Canyon walks. So it really is such a fun place to visit. I'm not going to pretend it's not pristine. There's a beautiful mine site there overhead, but apart from this lookout, mostly we won't be looking at that today, which is quite nice. Yeah, let's do it. Bungonia is really interesting. Up here on the sort of the plateau or the top of the cliffs, the undergrowth is quite sparse. It's an indication of something going on with the geology. Because of all the caves and the limestone here, as soon as rain falls, it doesn't hang around up here on the surface layer. It zaps through into the ground and it's not available. So we get this very interesting habitat. Starting to drop down now. It's going pretty well. I remember the first time I came here though, I missed some of the red markers, so just be a little bit focused at the start. Make sure you follow them because there's a pretty big drop over that way if you stuff it up. But already it's just phenomenal. Look at this. These beautiful xantharias. It's just wonderful. I can hear a lyrebird going off, going through its repertoire of calls. This is some sort of slate. We're sliding down here. Oh, it's just a brilliant track. It's one of those tracks, I think, or maybe correct me later, but it's just interesting the whole way. So first you're dropping down into the gorge, there's a little bit of scrambling and things like that. Then when you're in the gorge, you're just mesmerized by the epic canyon that you're in and the cliff faces. Then the hike out, that's just challenging. Almost down there. It's been some hot going. She's pretty steep, a bit of butt scooting, but yeah, look at the amazing cliff walls that we're coming into. You probably can't see it, but we're sort of just going to sneak around the corner here in a second into the gorge, the Slot Canyon. Oh, I've only ever been here once before, but I need to spend more time here. I'm hoping next weekend or the weekend after, when we're actually allowed to go camping, to come here and do an overnight hike with a few friends. And we'll camp on the Shoalhaven River and go for a little explore, hopefully have a couple of nights at the same spot. And I hope to take you guys on that one too. I just don't know if I can capture this pretty sweet, sharp, steep trail. We gotta go down there. So I'm almost at the bottom, but I'm just pausing to admire this beautiful little patch of rainforest and the fig trees that have sort of grown all around and through the rocks. Oh, it's so quiet. I've made it to the bottom of the gorge, so you can sort of look back that way at some pretty impressive cliffs. Beautiful she oaks here in the riverbed. But next we are heading towards the Slot Canyon. Pretty excited about that. Took me about half an hour, I think, to get down. I'll tell you what, my knees are trembling a little with that nice little workout. One of the things I love about Bungonia is the geology. It's just so epic. Everywhere you look, there's something different. And then of course, the towering cliffs. I mean, I don't know, my brain can't even actually comprehend how tall these cliffs are. And we're gonna go straight through the middle, so it's gonna be fun. Can you imagine the water rushing through here, coming down the catchment, just flowing through here with all its might, hitting that rock and being forced up. Certainly not a place you want to be when there's some rain about. So there's these beautiful boulders down here too. Some are bigger than the size of a car, and from memory there's a lot of rock hopping and scrambling to come before we pop out the end of the gorge. Just feels so small. Man, look at it. This has got to be some of my favourite kind of hiking, boulder hopping. Now, it's just fun, it keeps your mind engaged. So there's no real path here in the canyon, you just gotta, I mean, you can't go too far off track, just follow the steep cliff walls. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's a, what is it, a cuckoo bird. They're cheeky little creatures, they, I love that call. What they do is they lay their eggs in other birds' nests, and then the cuckoo chick is a very hungry little beast, and the poor parents of the often smaller bird will be ferociously trying to feed this thing, and the cuckoo chick will flick the other chick, the proper chick, out of the nest, and so it's sort of a nest parasitism. Oh my God, check out this boulder. And it's just kind of like sitting on that boulder, and I'm underneath it. I'm having faith that it's been there for hundreds of years. Pretty happy. Oh man, this is like my first hike. Well, it's just a day hike, but this is my first hike for about a year, with all the bushfires and corona balls, and then had a bit of personal stuff. I haven't been out hiking, and whew, I forgot how much I miss it, and I need to prioritise it in my life. It's just so nice. Just check out this quartz vein in this rock. It's just spectacular. It's so beautiful and grey, and then it's got this quartz streaking through it. Check out how mossy and beautiful this area is. I did a bit of a stuff up trying to get through the boulder field, and ended up on a bit of a drop that was too big, so I just come a little bit wider. So I'm officially through the boulder field, and I'm going to stop now for a bit of lunch. Special treat today that I don't normally get on my long distance hikes is my Nana's goulash. I'm pretty excited to be busting this one out on the trail. Oh, God. That won't need very long. Go on, Nana. I'll give you a look at that. Oh my gosh. I should actually get off my bum and dehydrate a few of these, and that'd be pretty good. Woo, she's boiling already. Oh, it's the most delicious food. I reckon that'll do it. That was pretty quick. Bon appetit. Yum. I can't explain how happy I am right now. It's just like, I've done the exercise, I've got the endorphin high, I'm eating my Nana's goulash, looking at that, listening to the beautiful water running through the rocks. I'm so glad I came here today. I nearly didn't. I was being lazy. I just sort of got out of the habit of hiking, and you just got to do it. Even if it's just a day hike, it's incredible. And I get to shower at the end of the day and to sleep in my own bed, so pretty happy with that. That was a great little rest break. Keen to get going again. It got a little bit chilly here now that the sun's sort of disappeared a bit. So this sign here is pretty much the only other indication that there's a big active quarry over the hill here. Besides, when you're up on the viewing platform, you can actually see the quarry. But basically on weekdays they do some blasting. They don't want to tumble down rocks onto you, so they'll let out a big old noise before they blast, so you're not going to get rocks tumbling down. After the boulder field, it's still a bit of rock hopping, but it's just sort of, you know, choose your own adventure. And I really like that style. There's no formal trail through here. You just pick your way along, and sometimes you lead to a bit of a shitty wet foot spot and you have to go back, or you just have to dunk your feet. But you know, we've had a reasonable amount of rain, oh there you go, wet foot, over the past little bit, and you could easily do this without getting wet feet. So I've just made it to the second warning sign, and from memory the track starts pretty much on that ridge you can see coming down there. So we just go a little bit further, maybe a couple of 100 metres, and then you shoot up that ridge. Whew, you guys ready for this? I've just stopped to have a little break here because behind me, hopefully you can hear it, there's a lyrebird going through all its calls. So we'll just sit and have a listen. That's its kookaburra call. Currawong call. That's like a crimson rosella. So yeah, I've made it to the edge of that ridge. There's actually a big sign here too, so hopefully you don't miss it. That's my red track out. The beautiful extension to this walk is an overnight. You continue down there, there's some lovely deep rock pools. Eventually you rock up to the Shoalhaven River, and camping on the Shoalhaven's so lovely because of the sandy beaches, and they're just spectacular and comfortable. I brought in about 3 litres with me today, but I've chugged through it all pretty quickly, so I'm just going to top up the water before I go up the hill because I know how steep that is, and I'm going to need a fair bit of water. Now I always treat my water no matter how pristine the water source looks, you just never know what's going on upstream. I remember hiking in the Grampians once, and there was this beautiful pristine stream, and we drank from it, and then we climbed up the waterfall, and in the pond above the waterfall was a dead wombat, and so you just really don't know what's happened upstream. So I always treat it, it's not hard, it's pretty easy to do, and it just keeps you from getting a bellyache or worse. I love my Sawyer squeeze. I've often used Gravity Works too, but I'm just really getting into my Sawyer squeeze, which is pretty easy way to collect water. I like to label mine dirty, because sometimes I'll take some that are clean and you don't want to mix them up. So you just screw them on there. I like to actually burp it, screw him on there, take off the cap. You can drink straight out of it, but I find that pretty annoying. And then you just do what it says, squeeze. So I'll just fill this straight into my water bladder here. Just show you there, it comes straight through pretty quick. If the flow starts to go a bit slower, it's a good idea just to backflow it, and so that's just to squeeze some water back through the other way, and that'll get rid of any impurities. So we'll just squeeze him through. So it shoots through so quickly. It's really cool. Just bring it up there so you can see. See, pretty quick. I just love the speed. I use the Gravity Works, and it's pretty cool. You can hang it from your tent, or while you're setting up camp, and it does it on its own without you sort of helping it. All right, ready for the climb. That's why we hike. That view is just incredible. And that's my destination up there somewhere. It's about 400 or 500 metre elevation gain. It's really not that bad, but for some reason, I remember the first time I did this, there was lots of false summits. So I thought I was there, but I wasn't yet. So hopefully, this time, I know what I'm in for, and I feel like it's all about expectation management. I'm going to bust out my hiking poles in a jiff. Normally as a lightweight hiker, I really don't like carrying things that are going to be in my pack for half the trip, but I was thinking they could help me up the hill a little bit. They're meant to take about 20% of the load off your legs and into your upper body. I got into them originally because as an ultralight hiker, I love an item that can be multi-purpose, so you can also use them as tent poles on certain tents. And they've saved my bacon a few times too. Like, I've taken big falls and boom, put them down and actually stopped myself from, hitting the deck. And I've been pretty impressed. These are lightweight ones, but they haven't broken or anything like that. Only real trick with hiking poles is there's a left and a right. So this guy's my left. Some people use electrical tape and wrap it around to make it clear. But the way to use them is to put your hand up under so that you get that strap around your wrist and then grip it. So then you'll have this beautiful, really comfortable support as you're hiking. I'm steadily making my way up the hill, but at least I have these amazing views to keep me company. You can't complain when you've got that to look at. Some beautiful mountains off in the distance as well. That's down towards the Shoalhaven River. On some of these really steep sections, I like to take the wrist holds off. You actually slip your hand down. Should be a little knuckle there, and then you can sort of help drag yourself up the hill a bit. So what I've done here is I've done the normal red loop, but then as you're popping out the red loop, when you're doing it in a clockwise direction, there's the white track that meets it, and I've just snagged out a little bit up to the white track, up towards Mount Eyre. And there's some, pretty nice views to the south towards the Shoalhaven. It's probably worth a little bit of extra elevation change. For me, certainly, to see the Block Up Gorge from this angle. Basically, you can hike down to the Shoalhaven River and then scooch up to an area called the Block Up Gorge, and that's where the Shoalhaven River gets stuffed through this sort of pretty small opening. Anyway, we'll see if you can see it. It's kind of that bald, naked part of rock there. When I was paddling through the block-up gorge, I was just looking up to all the cliffs and the gullies that were dropping down, and the Shoalhaven River just has some spectacular country. I've been pack rafting it for many years now in sections. I've got pretty much all the way from the headwaters, all the way from the headwaters down close to where we are now, near Talawa Dam. So the actual summit of Mount Eyre is closed for rehabilitation. It doesn't look like there'd be a good view up that way anyway, and there's some pretty nice views just from this normal white track. It's taken me about 4.5 hours, I think, all up, and I've sort of piss-farted around. I had lunch and processed some water and did the tiny side trip. So yeah, I think 5 hours is a pretty good estimate. So I've just finished my hike down through the Bungonia Slot Canyon, and I've come out to Adams Look, and it's such a perfect way to end your hike because you can look at your handiwork and the spectacular gorge that you've just hiked through. It's madness. Just looking down over the incredible Slot Canyon that I've just been through. Thanks so much for watching today. I really enjoyed taking you along with me. It's just such a great day hike. I feel like I've had that wilderness experience. I'm tired, but it's just magnificent. Hopefully soon I'll be doing some overnight hikes, so please subscribe to my channel if you want to see me out and about once the corona balls go away. And we'll do some overnight hikes down into the Shoalhaven area and check that out. There's some pretty amazing gorges down that way too.